So, it's 2019. 3 years ago, Sony released PlayStation VR, and I think a lot of people were hyped for it, and some people even thought that PlayStation VR will be some kind of revolution in the gaming industry. But then, everyone realized that it's useless as
Language, please!
useless as shit! Hey everyone, I'm Daniel, and today I'm gonna talk about the VR. What were the main problems of the VR and why the VR sucks? Alright, let's begin. The first problem is it is not healthy. Alright, I don't know if there were any people who tested the VR before it got released, but it is just impossible to play with VR for a long time. Why? Because you will be sick. If you're playing a game that is not dynamic, like a race game, then you will be able to play like for an hour. Maybe longer, but if you are playing a dynamic game where pictures are changing really fast, then you will be not able to play even an hour. What is awful. I know that there are people who have a lot of time and who want to play like 4 or 8 hours straight, but they can't, because they will feel sick and just say fuck this shit. And then they will just continue to play games with TV and controller and they will just forget about the VR. Sony needed to test the VR, and I'm sure they did, but they didn't care about it so much. They just wanted to bring the VR out as soon as possible instead to wait 1 or 2 years and make it playable. And that's a huge problem. Now I realize that my mom was right with don't sit close to the TV, because in VR the distance between your eyes and the screen is something like 1 centimeter, I think. The second problem are the games, so I will be quick. The games are just bad, because first the graphics are bad, it looks like it is a PlayStation 2 game. The games have also no stories, so you will be not able to see cutscenes from first perspective, and the games are just short and they cost too much. Like Job Simulator, where you need 2 or 3 hours to complete the game, costs $20, or Until Dawn Rushblood, where you also need something like 2 hours to complete the game, costs also $20. The only game that is not short is Beat Saber, where you need a lot of time to complete the game. But the most games you'll be able to complete in just few hours, and that cost around $20, what is not normal. I mean, after seeing this, is there anyone who still thinks that the Order 1886 is a short game that don't deserve to cost $20? I don't think so. After everything what I said, what do you think should PlayStation VR cost, huh? $50, $100, or maybe even $150? No, at release the price of the VR was $399. What is insane after everything what I said. Yeah, the VR gives you a new experience and it is fun to play it the first hour, but it just don't deserve to have the same price as a console has. Yeah, right now the VR costs $299, but it is still too much. After seeing this price, I was asking myself, like, how many people actually bought the VR? And how I expected, the VR is not selling well. I mean, Sony says that it actually sells well, but no, it is not selling well. Till this day, the VR was sold worldwide about £4.2 million times. Then I googled how many times the PlayStation 4 has been sold till this day, and the PlayStation 4 was sold around 95 million times. And after seeing these whole numbers, I did some and realized that it's selling really bad, because from this 95 million people, just 4 million bought the VR, so there are still 90 million people who didn't bought the VR and will probably don't buy. So what do we have in the end? A very little playtime, bad games, and a huge price. In my opinion, they should at least make the price around $100, because then much more people would buy it, but Sony will probably never do it. But that's it, the PlayStation VR is just not good, and I still think that someday Sony will probably release a VR for the PlayStation 5 with, of course, better graphics, and I hope then they will make everything right, because right now the VR, and it's not just the VR, I mean all this, VR kind of gadgets, where you put this on your eyes and then you're like on a reality, even if you're just sitting on your bed. So I'm just saying that the VR sucks, and I would not recommend for everyone to to buy it, and that's the problems. Yeah, so what do you think about the VR? Do you have a VR? And when yes, then what do you think about it? Do you like it? And yeah, That's it. If you like this video, why not to subscribe to my channel, why not to like this video, and why not to write a comment. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!